Steve Lee quit singing. Well, I'll be darned. Lost my connection. Lost my connection. That's okay. Some of you hate it anyway, don't you? You might pop back up there. I'm going to finish this magazine. I think I have another bullet in it. Yeah. All right. CSX E-Series. Yes. Like I told you last week, had one in and have shot it one day, and now I'm shooting it 2 days. That makes 2 days, right? So see how it does. You know, the first one we had trouble with the trigger. It was horrible, reset problems and all that. Apparently they have fixed that. I've not noticed it with this one. And as with that first one, I really liked the feel of it. This one might feel even better. It's just very good feeling gun. Yeah, if you like a 1911 style, you know, thumb safety and all that kind of thing, yeah, I just realized too, the thumb safety will, with it engaged, you can still work the slide. And that's a nice feature. I kind of like that with firearm. So anyway, it's a little different from the, of course, classic model 1911. You certainly can't do that. I think with some of the other later models, you can. I don't know about any from Colt, but we've had 1911 style firearms here where that was a feature, benefit, I guess you'd say, right? So anyway, CSX, glad you're here. And yeah, welcome to, I got a really rough start. Welcome to Tennessee, the home of Alvin York. It is Independence Day weekend, July 4th weekend. So let's mention Alvin York again. How's that? Yeah, here in the beautiful hills of Tennessee. It's very, very green. We like it better green than we do in the winter time. Yeah, it's not very green in the middle of winter, as you know. Yeah, many of you have been around a long time and you have seen the green come and go. You know what these trees look like when they're naked, don't you? I do too. And it's not necessarily a pretty sight, although winter, the looks of winter and everything, I mean, they have, winter has its own unique appeal, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The trees, the plants, they need a rest. They need a break from growing, right? So we'll give them that time to do that. They enjoy the cool weather. So, yep, here we are. It is July, and it's the 6th, and we're on the 4th weekend. Hope you're having a great weekend. If you're in this country, let's see, in the UK, do they celebrate the 4th of July? Well, we celebrate it in this country. And, yeah, I'm going to celebrate it some more right now by taking some more shots. I got some extra magazines. Well, this thing comes with 3. What is it, 10 or 12? Yeah, 12, 15, and a 17, I think, rounder is what it comes with. So let's just shoot a couple more. While I'm warmed up, trying to warm up, I think I threw one at Clyde, but I don't believe I hit him. All right. Yeah, I heard that one. I heard it. How about you, cowboy? I'll throw a couple at the gong, but I really don't know whether I can pop him or not yet. All right. Oh, it's a loud little booger. Or is that just me? Did you ever have that experience? Some days a particular firearm just seems louder than it ought to. Yeah, it just seems louder. This is the 3.1 inch barrel model. I think it comes in a 3.6 inch barrel as well. So this is the upgrade of the CSX. This one, the CSX came out when in the 22, I think, and this one's been out, I don't know, 5 or 6 months, I guess. But the E-Series, and they've done a few things. It's optics ready, and might have a little bit different serrations. The grip has been improved somewhat. You know, what else? I have to remind myself. The trigger is the big improvement. The trigger is a big improvement. Yeah, in fact, it's, let's see. Yeah, you can feel the reset. You can even hear it maybe. Yeah, so it's got a true reset. And yeah, I don't know that all of them were defective that came out, but there were enough of them, and when you know that we got one like that. That happens occasionally, for people to think our firearms are hand-picked, the firearms that we borrow from sponsors. Not at all, man. They come in a box and taken off a shelf and shipped. And we've had enough issues with those firearms over the, not a lot, but just periodically there'll be some issue with one, and we'll send it back and get another one, and go from there. It kind of depends. If it's a brand new gun, brand new offering, and we have a bad experience with it, we may not get one for a while. We'll let them work on it, let them tweak it, let them fix it. Okay? I mean, it's not my job to go through 13. A new gun comes out tomorrow, Ruger XYZ, whatever the model is, and there's a lot of hype about it. And we would get one lent to us by a sponsor or somebody, and it just has a little bit of a trigger issue or has some kind of problem. Well, I'm not going to worry about getting 5 more right away. We'll figure it out, see what's going on with other people on the web, what other people's experience is, and let Ruger or Smith & Wesson or whoever kind of figure out the issue, what it is, and not just hammer it to death immediately. So again, it's just one sampling. If we got 2 more in and they do fine, well, I don't know, what's that mean? Does that mean 1 out of every 3 is defective? Or so we don't worry about it. But anyway, yeah, it's been on my list to get one. I was going to get another one. It just kind of slipped my mind. Another one of the CSX before they even came out with this. I meant to get one like a year later or something. Just never did do it. And so this gave me an excuse and a reminder, kind of a new version of it. So that's better. And I really still love the feel of these things. Gosh, they feel great in the hand. A lot of people don't want a thumb safety and all that, and they would rather have a double action or a striker fired trigger and that sort of thing. Obviously, because that's one of the most popular types of handguns out there these days. But this thing surely feels good. And all right, I'll shoot some more. Yeah, man, here I am. Gosh, out here it's warm, still hot, not quite as bad as it was last week, and as it has been. But it's still hot and sweaty. It's summertime. It's July. It ought to be hot. Imagine that, So it ought to be hot on the 4th of July weekend. Yep, it ought to. And I want to thank the people. Speaking of that, this is one I got from Gallery of Guns. We appreciate Davidson's Gallery of Guns lending us this firearm, where you get guaranteed lifetime replacement program with your firearms you buy there. Pretty cool. And then Silencer Central, the wonderful banished lineup that you see here. They do one thing and they do it well. Appreciate their support. SDI, the Sonoran Desert Institute. You could learn a lot more about a lot of things. Drones, firearms technology, gunsmithing, and right on down the line. Check them out. SDI, .edu. What else? Yeah, 4th of July. Yeah, speaking of Silencer Central, I don't know if you saw the interview, Tom Gresham's interview weeks ago, but then one popped up, Cam Edwards interviewing Brandon Maddox, CEO, owner of Silencer Central. That was interesting. Yeah, it was very interesting, informative. So if you're still in the dark about some of that business with suppressors and the Hearing Protection Act and all that sort of thing, and the document that floated around, get educated on what all that was about, please. Might help. The internet's a strange place, so it's you just cannot get information. Yeah, ironically, for all of the communication capabilities that the internet has and that we enjoy, you cannot get information out to everybody. There's no way. We cannot get information out to our viewers. Just a slice of them that happen to see that particular video or this particular video today, or whatever it might be. And if And if there's some little controversy going on or anything at all, you get wind of it on the internet, and in a video or something, or some comment someone makes, and really, you're going to take that as the gospel? For all you know, there's another video by that same person said, oh, sorry, I didn't mean that, or I found out more about that, or there's 30 other videos that refute what that person said, but you don't know about those. Yeah, I mean, it's a strange world, we live in. Early on, that was one of the, it wasn't a frustration, but it was a weird thing. We realized, you build a channel and start, your subscribers and everything, you communicate with them. Then the more people that come on board and subscribe and everything, you realize, and you try to communicate things in a video or posting or whatever about something you're doing. Maybe it's just simply an explanation of what you're doing or what you're going to do, or I don't know. Something about a video that you got wrong, I don't know, but you don't want, not worth taking it down. Well, it doesn't get to everybody. And so it's like you didn't even send it out there. You still see those same comments about it, or same questions, or any other issue. You hear the same accusations over and over from people who don't know the whole story, don't know half the story, don't know any of the story, but they heard some other random troll, furthering the drama or something. So it's just a weird thing, the internet. It's one reason that you cannot let anything bother you. I think I read in a Hickok 45 Talks video, unless it was right here on a Sunday, I don't know, the comment from a youngster, or he was talking about when he posted his first videos as a youngster. I think he still was young, and how he got hammered about some things, and he just quit doing it, And it's one reason my advice to young people, every now and then, periodically is don't let the internet get you down, and just, I mean, you have to pay some attention, right, to feedback, but you have to be aware that there's going to be a certain amount of really negative feedback that's going to seem a lot bigger than it is, because those are the people that are going to type something if they see an opportunity to offend you. It's a little bit like restaurant reviews, I guess, that kind of thing. Who's most likely to write a restaurant review? The person who had a bad experience. And so, a lot of those are bad, unless it's a competition doing it. You never know, do you? But, I go somewhere and eat, that was good, it's a pretty good meal. I'm not going to be, where's my phone? I got to find this and leave a review. You typically don't do that unless you have a bad experience. So you could have 20 people had an excellent experience in that restaurant, and then one person had a negative experience, which could have been their fault or maybe not, but that's the one that's going to get left. So all that has to be weighed out, doesn't it? And I got into all that without even knowing I was going to. Sorry about that. Speaking of little guns like this, if you want a concealment holster, guess who's going to make a great one? Alabama Holster. It'll take care of you inside the waistband, outside the waistband, purse, pocket, you name it. Okay? Alabama Holster. Love them. In fact, I might just shoot Alabama Holster. Why don't I do that? Yeah. Let's shoot the state of Alabama on that target. Want to? Where's that magazine I shot for? Here we go. Let's shoot Alabama. Yeah, it just seems louder than. Yeah, okay, it's empty. Slide stayed back. 17 round mag. I didn't put the sleeve on. I think there was a sleeve in the box. I just got this the other day. Let's shoot Ballistol and Talon grips. SDI. Gallery gun. Donkey Central. And some targets out there. How about Clyde again? How about let's go up here a little closer and just shoot. Let's pretend I really need to engage these bad guys. I think I had a few of those off initially. Yeah, feels good. Feels good. CSX. I always confuse that with the railroad. The railroad is CXS, right? Yeah, I've got a friend that works for them. CXX. So this is CSX. Okay. Yeah, 3 mags came with it. So shot that sucker, shot him up. Uh, uh, I got another firearm out here, and actually not seen it yet, I don't guess. This is a Premier, really nice little firearm. Maybe I had it in a video we've done recently, but you might not have seen that either. Yeah, I just have a hard time keeping up with you folks, what you're seeing and what you're not seeing, even if it's been posted, you know? So anyway, yeah, here it is. I could have held it up in the thumbnail. Yeah, imagine that. There's another Smith & Wesson. I guess I'm a Smith & Wesson rep, right? Well, you know me, I love the Smith & Wesson revolvers. Can't help it, like Colt too. This one, well, let's see if you can identify it. See if we have any smarty pants out there. Yeah, let's make this a quiz. And I'll go ahead and warn you that 99.5 or 0.9% of you probably couldn't guess it. I probably couldn't have 6 months ago. You know, I don't know. Well, not that I'm the expert necessarily, but I do mess with a lot of guys, and even I, you know, would not necessarily have known the models by looking at it. But it is an in-frame. I'll give you some clues. It's an in-frame Smith & Wesson. It, let's see, it 44 Special. It's a chambering, not 44 Magnum, 44 Special. Okay. What else would be a good clue? Those might not be the original grips. I think maybe they were replaced. You know, the Magnum, boy, they sure fit like a glove. Unbelievable. It's like they've been on there, you know, since '55 when this was made. But they might have been replaced, okay? It's pinned and recessed. I know it's not, it's pinned. They only recessed the chambers on the Magnums, you know. I'm so dumb, I didn't even realize that for a long time. But yeah, it was just the Magnums that got the recess. But now almost all of them got pinned in the early days, up until the early 80s. Of course, you got your hammer mounted firing pin because it goes back to 1955. All right, you getting an idea, anybody? This is a model of 1950. This is a pre-model 21, okay? I mean, we typically call things pre-models. I've got a pre-model 28 and all that sort of thing. That means it was made before they were identified by a model number. You know, it's like Colts and Smiths. They were, oh gosh, you know, Combat Magnum, Combat Masterpiece, and had all this name, Chief Special and everything. And then in '57, I think it was, they started putting numbers on them and gave them numbers, you know, like the Model 36 for the Chief Special, and Model 28, 27, you know, for the registered Magnum, and the Model 28, you know, all that. So this would have been a Model 21 when they started doing that, but 44 Special, model of 1950, 44 Special. This is the military, not the Target. They made it in Target and they made it in military, it's called. Now the Target had kind of a rib and adjustable sights. The military version they call, I mean, it's not a military gun, but they called it military. I mean, I guess it was a lot like their 1917, you know, military 45 ACP, you know, we posted a video on that recently, right? But yeah, they call it the military because they had non-adjustable sights, okay? No rib on the barrel or anything. And this one's a 4-inch barrel. Puts it in an elite class, okay? Those of you who know your Smith & Wessons know what I'm talking about. I think of this model in this barrel length, in the military version like this, which is particularly desirable to me, they made 400 of them, I believe. So anyway, 44 Special. I had a Model 21, yeah, the what was it, 21 dash whatever, 97, that the Clint Smith Thunder Ranch version of that. It had the key lock, I think, and all that. It also had a bigger cylinder because it had a, all Smith did really was just offer a 44 Magnum and chambered the cylinders in 44 Special. So you end up with all the same weight and the length of the cylinder, that you would have with the 44 Magnum. They just didn't bore it out for 44 Magnum, as far. But I liked that gun, and these, whenever I've seen them, they just always have been too pricey. But anyway, I found this one and bit on it, and so I have it, and it's one of my favorite firearms now, and probably always will be. Can I shoot it? Okay, let's put some bullets in it. Oh, I got some out here. It's a double action. I'll put 6 in. Okay, 44 Special. Yeah, man, 4-inch barrel. This would be a great carry gun, and has been for me. All right, now I've not shot it too much yet. Let's see if it'll hit paper. Get my finger out of the way. Boom. How about Clyde? All right, I'm gonna try the gong. I'm not sure where to hold. I guess right there. Yeah. That is a I don't know. It's one of the holy grails. I have seen this firearm for maybe 30 years since I've sort of known what it was, but I wasn't 100% sure, at gun shows on rare occasions. I remember seeing one at a gun show in Laverne or Smyrna, somewhere down in that area, years and years ago. And what is that? It had a tag 44 Special. Oh, cool. Like 4-inch barrel, and I think it was this exact gun. And I thought, man, that is cool. I need that. And I looked down at the price on it and said, whoa, what's that about? What is that about? And I have seen them since occasionally. And it's partly just because it's rarity, and then also it's desirability. Yeah, really. Two things that I enjoy. I am very rare and very desirable. No, both of those things. It's a 44 Special. It's a bit of a mountain gun, right? You got the contoured barrel. It's got a lighter barrel. So you got other than you don't have the round butt. They weren't even doing a round butt, I guess, right in the 50s. But it's kind of like a mountain gun in 44 Special, what it comes down to. Pretty nice. Can I shoot it again for my enjoyment and hopefully yours? Okay. 44 Special is such a nice round. Yeah. Goes back to 1907. Well, I've got a thing about these antique cartridges, don't I? 45 Colt goes back to 1873. 38 Special goes back a long way too, isn't it? So let's shoot this again. All right, cowboy, you need one of these. Double action. Oh yeah, my new carry gun. That's it. I got a cross straw holster for it. That might just be it. My favorite carry piece, or one of them. So, yeah, man. Oh, by the way, what caliber is it? I misspoke. I said 44. Y'all know, if you saw that video when the Dirty Harry, right, made a lot of people mad. What did I call it? Why did Dirty Harry really carry a 43 Magnum or something like that? I got to look at that video again. Some people get mad at me, looked like I'm an idiot, like I didn't even know it was a 44 Magnum firearm. I was just trying to be funny and make the point that these are really 43 caliber, but I guess my sarcasm or humor just doesn't convey well sometimes. I do a poor job of that, I guess, because literally people just thought I was stupid. It's a small slice, but most of you probably get it, what I'm doing. It's like right now when I talk about this being a 43 caliber, it is 43 caliber, but yeah, the gun is called a 44. It's a 44 special cartridge. We all know that, just like the 38 special. It's called the 38 or 357 Magnum, all that, but it's a 36 caliber, right? 356, it's a 36 caliber, barely 36 caliber. And then of course we round all these cartridges are rounded. All the rifle, it's rare that one is not rounded. I think the 10 millimeter, the 40 caliber is not, but almost every cartridge is, for one thing, whatever your rifle is or your handgun, it will utilize bullets just slightly larger in diameter or slightly smaller in diameter, because the barrel on your particular rifle or handgun might vary just a little bit, right? You might find that your, I don't know, your 38, you got a target revolver, Smith, Colt, whatever it might be, Taurus, and it seems to shoot better with a bullet 1/1000th smaller, or 1/1000th bigger, kind of like what I experienced with the Marlin lever gun. In cast bullets, at least, it wanted a bullet of 431, or else it was going to tumble. A bullet with 430 or 429, which I do find all my handguns, were tumbling in that, which means it has a slightly larger bore, just ever so slightly, right? So it's all a rounding game, whether it's 308 or anything. There's bullets that are varying sizes generally. But anyway, yeah, it's a 43 caliber, but it's called the 44 Magnum 44 Special. Okay, so I'm very pleased with that. My life is complete now as a firearms enthusiast, collector, shooter, goofball, whatever. I've got a pre-model 21, and I kind of missed that. I traded off that Clint Smith model 21, really nice shooter. It was heavy and everything, and I just got the feeling like it had the key lock and all that. I said, if I'm going to have a firearm that size, basically just like that, my little 3-inch Model 29, 629s, kind of fit that category, and they will chamber a 44 Magnum if I want to, either Magnum or Special. That thing was the same chunk, in size, weight, and everything, because it had the Magnum cylinder, but it wouldn't chamber a Magnum, and I had the key lines. I said, my 3 inches, my Clint Smith gun, 3-inch 629. So anyway, this is good. I really have a weakness for mountain guns, and that design, and that's kind of what that ends up, right, being. So we shoot this other Smith. Man, what a change, what a difference, huh? Smith & Wesson. I should have a Schofield out here, Maybe I'll do something on that sometime, a video, just the eras, periods of time, not errors, of Smith & Wesson. Get the Schofield out and then double action revolver, the firearms they're most famous for, and then the modern polymer pistols and all that kind of thing. Let's load one of these mags, put some North Doodlets in. Let's try some hollow points. Have I done that yet with this thing? I don't think I have. Got some Underwood hollow points. We'll try a couple. Okay. And do I have any advice for young people on loading this magazine? There's my loader. Yeah, I do a couple. It is 4th of July weekend, Independence Day around here. Weekend. I would encourage you, young folks, if you're having trouble conjuring up any patriotic feelings, to work on that a little bit. One of the themes I talk about occasionally is how nothing is perfect. There's no utopia. Your school, your family, your church, your group of friends, your club, you name it, your neighborhood, it's all made up of really imperfect people, unless I live there, right? Life's messy. We're all kind of a mess at times, right? So what do you expect out of a country or a state or a city a government of any size. It's going to be far from perfect. I mean, it's laughable to think of it as being perfect, right? Or a perfect system, all that. So it really comes down to whether or not you kind of live by trying to see the glass half full instead of empty, right? Instead of half empty. There's always something to be negative about, always, with anything. So it's really kind of an attitude thing. And there's always a lot to be positive about, actually probably a lot more. So it's just how you see the world. Keep that in mind. And just because you're patriotic, it doesn't mean you think you're better than everybody else. I mean, I really do kind of think, I don't know what country I'd want to live in other than this one. So I will put it up at the top, I think. It's one reason people are fighting to get in by the millions. You know, it's the reason we have to guard the border. You know, everybody wants in here. So, you know, it must be a pretty decent place. So try to conjure up some patriotic feeling. You don't have to fake it, but make it real that, I guess it ain't so bad. It could be a lot worse. And if you think it can't be worse, it is really, really bad, and there's no way you're going to feel patriotic. I don't know, maybe think about visiting some other countries if you can afford it, and just go check them out and hang out for a month or two or a year and work and live in some other countries. Then come back and, you know, you'll have a better perspective on it. Now you might live in some great places, but, you know, this one ain't bad. It ain't bad. All right. And it's getting better, isn't it, by the day? So, all right, let's shoot some more. All right, let's try that goggle again. Let's see if that was a fluke. I'm a fluke. Holding too low, I think. Yeah, so it wasn't a total fluke. That'll do. That'll do. Yep, trigger seems okay. I have to go back and look at that video, the first one. I'll try to do that before I do a video on this one to see what kinds of dumb things I had to say in that video. But as I recall, I wanted to like it because it just felt good and it just seemed like a nice firearm. That's my memory, but that's been 3 years, I guess. I do well remember last week. So thankfully there's a video on it. It had been taken down, right? So I gotta shoot this revolver some more. I don't know, I didn't have any other important things to say, but I appreciate y'all coming around and shooting with me, or at least pretending you're shooting, right? I don't, that's pretty lame. You pretend you're shooting with me, but I know I'm only half joking because I get enjoyment out of your brilliant deduction. You know, watching a gun video and seeing really neat firearms myself. It's I can get mesmerized a little bit watching a firearms video with I don't know, just some nice close-ups, and where you can really see that firearm and how it operates, and just the beauty of it, whatever, or the mechanics of it. There's beauty just in the function and the mechanics of a firearm, aren't there? All right, let's just blow up that target some more. I'm going to shoot silencer central, shoot SDI, gallery of guns, and I don't know, I probably have one or two more. Let's see if I can find a bowling pin. Double action. Yeah. All right. That's three. Yeah, it's got a nice double action. I think I'll keep it. Yeah, boy. that is a sweet one. And I think the trigger has been replaced. It has a since '55. There's a lot of time. Somebody kind of tailored it to what they wanted, maybe as a carry piece, maybe a law enforcement officer. I don't know. But it has the wide target trigger. Maybe some of you Smith & Wesson experts can help me out, help my meager mind out. See, it's got the wide target trigger, serrated, and then a thin hammer. Generally speaking, Smith, if they gave you the target trigger, you'd have the target hammer, and this is not the target model. It's the, the military model, it's called, without the adjustable sights. So I don't think that trigger came on it. Boy, I tell you though, you just cannot see where that trigger pin or any of that has been moved. So unless, I don't know, at that time you could specify that trigger, order it and specify it or something. I don't know. I know gun companies used to. Well, some will still do that, but to some extent, there's so many variations that are offered. It's not as necessary, but I know with Colt back in the 1800s, and I think Smith to some extent, you could just call them. You could write them and get whatever you wanted on that gun, whatever barrel length you wanted, that sort of thing. So I don't know if that's the deal. It doesn't matter. I probably leave that trigger on there. I'm kind of used to the wide trigger. The gun I have fired the most, my Model 29 with 80,000 rounds through it, it has that same trigger, and it just feels like home when I put my finger on that trigger. Yeah, it really feels natural. If anything, the hammer feels unnatural. I need to get a wide hammer spur on that thing. But that's pretty cool. 4-inch barrel, pre-model 21, and anything else about it? That 44 special. I'm going to shoot it again. I can't resist. Y'all are a bad influence. Yeah, you are. So I hope you've had a good weekend. I know it's Sunday and you're winding down the weekend. You're dreading going back to work maybe tomorrow, and I know how that is. I've worked for how many years now, straight through. I had high school and college. I worked in the summers, and then started teaching in '73. But since then it's 60 years. Yeah, 62 years. I've been on the job. Y'all consider this a job? Yeah. But I've had a job. And what I was getting at was that Sunday afternoon depression. Hopefully it's not too bad a depression. But I know it well. I know it well. Whether it was going back to class, you've been home for the weekend from college or something, and you get back on Sunday afternoon or evening, and am I ready for tomorrow? And dreading Monday morning a little bit, and then in various jobs, similar situation. Now I have been lucky. I've been fortunate that it's partly my own doing, and and choices I've made. But for the most part, I had jobs I enjoyed doing. I had a few I did not enjoy, and I had one or two positions with companies, lots of responsibility, different things, but that I wasn't as crazy about, that kind of thing. But I rarely dreaded going to work on Monday morning. Rarely did I dread it, But I know that feeling on Sunday. Everybody would like to have a 3 or 4 day weekend, right? So as it begins to wrap up, you start thinking about what you got to do tomorrow. Are you ready for tomorrow? In all those years teaching, 29 of those years, then it was, kind of that deal too. But I enjoyed teaching, and I tried to make certain before I left on Friday, actually, that I knew what I was doing Monday morning. And that made it for a better weekend. I tried to, and this is a tip for young people, anybody, but if I had something, I don't know, I decided, okay, Monday I'm going to go quiz on this, and we're going to do that. And anything that needed to be run off, copied, Anything that need a little preparation to get, okay, now where was that story, whether we're going to be studying, and where are my notes on that, what handouts do I have, am I going to do, or later what websites we're going to look at, or whatever. I would have all that together, so that if I walked in late for some reason, had a flat tire accident or something, and got to school 1 minute before, time for first period, then I could go in and we could just sort of start up, right? And I found that that made it for a better weekend, just knowing what I'm going to do. And I knew, the whole week, basically. I'd sketch all that out. So planning helps eliminate some of that dread. But now, that being said, if you have a job you just do not enjoy, and there's a lot of people in that place, for whatever reason, through choices that you have made in your life, choices other people have made that affected you by random chance, accident, I don't know. But most of the things we end up in are the result of a series of decisions that we have made as individuals. Things we have done or things we have not done, right? But however you got there, hopefully you don't dread your Monday too much, okay? Spend a little time planning, even if it's just 20 minutes, exactly what you're going to be doing tomorrow, if it's that type of job, and make notes and be ready to go. Then go enjoy the rest of the evening, right? So, one advantage of being retired, as I've said before, let me shoot these before I yak too much and let you go. One advantage of looking forward to being retired, whatever word you want to use, financially independent, at a place where you don't have to work, whatever you want to call it. One advantage of that is you don't get that feeling on Sunday afternoon, really. Let's see if I can hit the 0 on shoot, or the O on shoot. A little bit low. Let's get the other one up a little bit. There we go. All right. Now, if I can do that at 80 yards, I'll be in good shape, won't I? Well, that's a fine shooting revolver, no doubt about it. And in one of the best cartridges out there, 44 Special. I mean, if you're a firearms enthusiast, I mean, who doesn't like an in-frame Smith & Wesson? Now, poll about 50 firearms or 100 firearms enthusiasts, people who really do enjoy shooting and collect guns to some extent and all that kind of thing, and ask them, hey, you enjoy shooting an in-frame in whatever chambering? 99 out of 100 are probably going to say, yeah, love a good old in-frame Smith & Wesson. And then same with 44 Special, wonderful cartridge to shoot. So yeah, you get the best of both worlds, best of all worlds right there at 44 Special. So I guess I should let you go, talking too much, more than you really need to hear. I could wear out your ears. A person can only take in so many words in one day, and then they just stop going into the brain, as I understand. Maybe that's what the problem was with some of my students. They had taken in too many words already before they got to class. Maybe that was it. Anyway, I'll let you go. I really appreciate y'all watching, coming around every Sunday, every Tuesday at noon, and every Friday at noon. But actually, you don't have to be there right when the videos are posted live. They're going to be there. They are up there. Every dumb thing I've said, every mistake I've made in a video, guess what? They're still up there. Yeah, they're still up there haunting me. And then what do you get? John and Jesse doing the clips channel and the shoots channel and pulling clips out of these videos every day, shorts and whatnot. And so I get to see those dumb things I've said or did over and over, even on different channels. Just no relief for the weary. No relief. Keep that in mind if you decide to start doing videos. or if you are doing videos, you've probably already been bitten by that. Where it's an issue is you say something, I said that wrong, or I shouldn't have. So you pin a comment or put something in your description, correct it maybe. It's something that's not bad enough to not post the video, or you notice it after you posted it, and it's live, and I said that wrong. Well, it's not worth taking down. It's a 20-minute video or a 10-minute video, and you just made one little miscue or something, or you look particularly ugly in one shot or something that you don't like. It's not enough to take it down, but it's going to be up there. It's going to be up there. Now you can cut things out, because I learned how to do that when I was going back to edit, for YouTube, in order to keep so many of our videos from being deleted. I saved most of them. So you can do that. You just can't add. You can't add or change or overdub or something like that. But you can delete it if it's too bad. I don't know if I've ever done that other than taking out the ads that I had to take out. I did actually. What was it? I misspoke on something in a Sunday video, I think, and I did go in and just cut that like a half a second, and that is a nice capability, because I don't, it could be something that is a little misleading. You talk about something being a certain caliber or needing to do something. Maybe it's not a safety situation, but you'd rather that not go out to the public, because people will misunderstand that and they might get confused, so you do have that option. I can't remember what it was, but it was just like one word I wanted to get out because it was going to be a little bit misleading. I said it wrong or something. It might have just been I called something the wrong caliber and chambering, which would have been confusing. So anyway, I live in a state of confusion, so it doesn't bother me, but I don't want you all to get confused. So glad you're here. Appreciate your support. Come back when you got a chance, and we will be here hopefully on Rumble and here all the time. Life is good.